Hey guys, this is my review for the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which is the 4th game in the Elder Scrolls series. So this is set 200 years before Skyrim, which is the 5th game in the series, and is set after Morrowind, which is the 3rd game in the series. So basically, the main storyline to this game is you're trying to stop the Mystic Dawn, as they're trying to open up gates to another realm called the Oblivion, which is basically there's bad creatures and stuff sort of live, and they're basically trying to come into your world, or Tamriel, and take it back over, because apparently it was originally theirs. For whatever reason, it's not anymore. So yeah, you have to try and stop them with the help of all the other kings and princes and stuff that are in the land. So basically, you're helping one of the princes to take his throne and help stop Tamriel being destroyed. So you start off as a prisoner person, and then you have to slowly level up your character. This game has a really slow leveling up system. They sort of do it that you don't get experience from killing other units, you get experience from using weapons or using certain items or using certain spells. And then the more that you use those things, the more it goes up, basically, the more higher chance you'll get to actually level your character up. And when your character actually levels up, then you get attribute points, and then you get attribute bonuses based on those skills that you were using. So if I was using lots of blade skills, I might get a bonus for strength when I leveled up. So basically the bonus would be a +3 or a +2 or a +1 in whatever attribute, based on what I've been doing with my character. So I actually really do like this leveling up system, because although it is slow, it means that you have to actually go out there and do side quests and actually experience the world, unless you want to have a really hard time doing the main storyline, because the main storyline is quite hard. I think there's maybe about 20-ish quests to it, and then the quests also have multiple battles sort of things. One of your quests is to close the Oblivion Gate, but there's actually 6 or 7 Oblivion Gates that you have to close, and that's still counted as one quest. So they are quite long sort of things. I think the main storyline maybe takes 16 or 18 hours to complete, but then if you want to actually complete the main storyline quite easily, you're going to need to do lots of side quests and level up your character enough and get his attributes up high and his skills up high, so that he can use really good weapons. And then you've got to get money so that he can actually have items that are really good. Especially if you want to be an archer like what I'm playing as, you need so much money to just keep on buying arrows, because arrows just run out so much. Even though you can pick up arrows that you fire, some of them just disappear for some reason. So when I was playing the game, I kept on running out of money to buy arrows. Even after I completed the main storyline, I was still low on money. I mean, I had pirates, the Dark Brotherhood, guilds all working for me, and I was still losing so much money just buying arrows and getting houses and stuff, even though houses seemed kind of pointless to buy them. I think they give you 2 buildings, I think a Frostcrag Spire and a Deepscorn Hollow building at the very start of the game, which seemed kind of stupid because they don't really have any real sort of benefit to your character apart from wasting your money. Otherwise, there's quite a lot of DLC to this game, such as horse armor, and I think there's one called Nibbin Bay or something, which is basically a little island, and it takes you to another land that you can play around in. So this game has heaps and heaps of content that you can play. It's going to take you ages and ages to try and complete everything. I think I'm maybe up to about 60 hours or so, and I still have not completed all the content in this game, although I have been completing this game over the last 3 years, because it's just taken so long. I get bored quite easily playing this, not necessarily because it's not fun, it's because it was quite difficult when I was playing it, because it's one of those games where it's kind of weird, and it takes you a while to to really get used to the game. Because I think my thought when I was thinking this is that you have to kill more units to get more experience, but it's not like that in this game. It's all about doing stuff to get experience. So when I played the game, I was always trying to kill every single thing I came across, and it was just taking me forever. Whereas most of the missions you can actually just run past the bad guys and just get to the main objective, and then get the special item or the money or whatever that you get for doing that mission. Whereas I was just focusing on killing people. So it was taking me a long time. I also got stuck, and I think it was one of the caverns, because I ran out of arrows, and all the monsters that were in the cavern could only be killed by magical items, and my bows were the only magical items I had, so I was unable to kill them. And basically, I was thinking that you couldn't leave the cavern because then all the monsters would respawn, and then I'd just rage and quit and I'd never play the game again. But then it actually turned out that you could leave the cavern because monsters don't respawn after you've killed them. It's only monsters in the wild, such as bears and wolves and stuff that you come across, that always respawn. Whereas those items, those creatures don't respawn. So you can actually go into something, attack it, leave, go back, get more arrows or whatever items you want, or go on a different mission, then go back there, and it will still be exactly the same as you left it before. So it took me a while before I got used to that sort of thing. I think the only thing you couldn't go back and do was an Oblivion gate, because basically once you go in you have to close it. You can't leave once you've gone in, which is probably the downside, because I think sometimes the Oblivion gates are really overpowered. So unless you saved before going in, and then you can load back to before you went in, otherwise you're like trapped in there trying to get to the sigil stone to close the gate. So that sort of thing really annoyed me. Otherwise, the inventory system is quite good. You level up your character more, and then he gets more room in his bag to hold more items. You can sell items to members of the Thieves Guild, or you can go to shops. There's so much content, so many items you can find. I think you can also add your own magical abilities to your items. You got spells, you can make potions. I think you can make up your own potions using the ingredients in the forest. There's plants, food, alcohol. There's funny missions. I think there's some with the gods where like you have to annoy people to make the gods happy, and then they give you like this weird stick which turns people into rats. I thought that mission was really funny. There's quite a lot of funny people who say random things. Lots of people have their own reactions to stuff. You can talk to people, have conversations with them. It's not necessarily like AI conversation where you can actually type what you want. They just have selected sentences, and you just click whichever one you want, and then they'll react to you. You can improve your relationships with people, haggle with shopkeepers. Yeah, there's so much stuff. Probably the downside to this game is that since it's so big, there's quite a few bugs in it. You can also kill characters in the game. So I think there was a couple that accidentally got killed by random people who were actually meant to be for quests. So then when I went to do those quests, those people were dead, which meant that either I couldn't do it, or I had to look online to see what that person was actually going to tell me, and then kind of like skip him because he couldn't tell me, and then go to the next place, and then just sort of like work my way from there back into the quest. Those sort of things really annoy me in this game, because there's no way to like get rid of a quest. You can't dump it. Basically, once you've accepted it forever, and it sits there in your quest book. So either you have to like go and do it, or you're just stuck with like this endless amount of quests in your book. Other things that annoy me in this game was probably the guilds. You've got like the Thieves Guild. I think there's like Knights of Nine, which are the Crusaders, Dark Brotherhood, Fighters Guild, Mages Guild. I think there's a Red Black Bands Guild or something like that. And I think that's about it. I can't remember if there's any more guilds. There's quite a lot of stuff in this game. It's quite hard to remember it all, because it does take a really, really long time to complete. So the thing that annoyed me about the guilds is probably if you break one of their rules, it's quite hard to get back in like with the guild. Or at least I found that way, especially the Mages Guild. They ask you to collect like all these plants and stuff to get back into the guild because I stole, I think it was a soul ring or something, or a soul diamondy thing, which basically restores your weapons, and I was stealing it for the Fighters Guild, which is the annoying part to it, because basically I had to do the mission for the Fighters Guild, and then the Mages Guild hated me for it, and then they basically said I either had to give them all these plants or otherwise they'd kick me out. So after like ages and ages of trying to find this plant, I've almost got all of them to do the mission, but I didn't even, like, because I don't know what the plants look like, because the plant looks different to what actually gets put into your inventory or what it's asking in the quest. So some of the alchemist shops and stuff sold the plants, but then I'd go out into the wild and try and find them, and that would be a lot harder. But after a while I found both the plants in there, I sort of remember what they look like, so it's a lot easier to find them now. But yeah, guilds are good though, because they earn you lots of money, and then once you get a level up high enough, you can actually earn money like weekly off them. There's also an arena in the Imperial City, which you can earn money off by battling. I don't like the guards in this game. They seem to always hate me, always arresting me. It's probably my own fault though, because I'm always annoying people and stealing their stuff. You got fences, so if you steal stolen stuff, you can sell it to a fence and you earn money. It's quite good. I like the buildings in this. The maps and stuff is all very unique. They don't really copy any of the same layouts or stuff for different missions. Everything seems to have its own design. It's all been very well made, but since it's so big, there are a lot of bugs. I think some of them, I know that they did have quite a few quest bugs, but there were a couple just standard like location bugs where I think it was usually monsters or something would, even if you saw them like and then you walked off, there was no way to get away from them. Basically they were just constantly looking at you, even if they were on the other side of the map, until you actually killed them. That really annoyed me, especially if you wanted to quick travel. You couldn't, because that person had seen you, even though they weren't seeing you now, which really annoyed me in Oblivion. But basically you just go to like a city or something and enter its walls, and then that would fix it. Or you'd go to a certain area and then they would stop being able to see you, or whatever the problem was that you were having, that would be fixed. But yeah, there's so much content in this game. I really enjoyed it. I probably wouldn't want to play it again because it was so stressful the first time. I think I only managed to complete it on my third character. My first two characters, I found it really difficult because I didn't really know what I was meant to do. I just kind of got thrust into the world, and then I was trying to complete the main storyline, which you probably shouldn't do straight away. You should mostly try and get more side quests rather than going straight into the main quest. Some of the quests, they do have actual levels where they say you should be a certain level before attempting this, but in the main quest they don't really do that, because it's more like something that you've always got to do. But yeah, I love the storyline to this game. It's got a great story, very easy to follow. There's heaps of books and stuff that you can read which give you more history if you want to know what's happened since the last Elder Scrolls game. The same things in most of the Elder Scrolls games actually, since they're usually set in different times, so if you want to know what happened between them, you just read random books. There's bookstores and stuff, so you can buy whatever you want. I personally don't really like reading all the books and stuff. I usually just hope that the quest will auto-read it for me, or I just spam the next button if it's a book which gives you a skill bonus. Basically, I don't want to read everything because it will take forever. I don't really like horses in this game. There was a bug where pretty much if someone sees you riding a horse, they'll only target your horse. Even if you get off the horse and attack them, they'll still sit there attacking your horse. So I lost so many horses, because basically once your horse gets down to like a quarter health, it'll run off and it doesn't come back to you. It just continuously runs. So I had to keep buying new horses. But once you've explored the map enough, you can just quick travel, so that's not really an issue once you get further into the game. But at the start of the game, when you don't have much money and you get that horse, or you steal a horse off someone, and then you guys sort of like claim it as your own, it's really annoying when you lose it, because you just don't have that money to buy it back. But yeah, otherwise, I really enjoyed this game. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Basically, I wouldn't give it like a full score because although the level up system is quite good in terms of role-playing game, it's like still quite slow, which I don't really like. Also, the movement speed in this game is incredibly slow. Even with sprinting, even though I wouldn't consider it sprinting, I'd just consider it like fast walking. Because the walking is so slow, like, if you were to standardly walk, your character would basically not even move. Sprinting is more like a fast walk. It's not really using your stamina, which is what I'd expect from sprinting. And they also have this over encumbered, where if you go over your weight limit that your character can carry, then he stops being able to move, which also enraged me. Otherwise, I think they probably needed a wee bit more work, just smoothing some of the quest overlay problems with the main quest and the side quests, sort of not really working all that well together. Luckily, there's a lot of community fixes that have been made, which are not official patches for the game, but they're just made by random people who found the bugs really annoying and decided to fix them themselves. So luckily, there's a lot of those on the internet that you can just download and install into your game files. But yeah, but otherwise, I'm only going to give this game an 8 out of 10, because I really like this game. It was really fun. If you haven't played it, you definitely should. If you've played Skyrim, you'll probably find this game really annoying compared to Skyrim. But I've actually played Skyrim and Oblivion and the Morrowind. But I quite like Oblivion. It's probably not as fun as Skyrim, but Skyrim's really, really easy compared to Oblivion. So yeah, that's probably one of the main problems you'll find if you try to play Oblivion. But yeah, that's just my opinion of the game. If you don't agree with it or you do agree with it, drop what you thought of the game in the comments below this video. Otherwise, I'm only going to give it an 8 out of 10. Okay guys, see ya.